Hi, I'm Adriana.
I'm Claire.
And this is The Wave.
Today's video will be an advice and tips video regarding the application process here at the Mississippi School for Mathematics and Science, also known as MSMS. And before we get into the advice and tips, Adriana and I would like to give a very brief overview / background, information about MSMS.
Okay guys, so MSMS is a residential public high school, and we would like to emphasize that it is a public high school, so it's free and there's no tuition to attend the classes or anything, but there is a fee for the room and board just to live somewhere. And it includes the cafeteria food and stuff, so yeah, that's a bonus. And
really
the school is geared towards gifted juniors and seniors, and we would like to emphasize that you can only apply as an upcoming junior, because a lot of people mistakenly think that you can apply as an upcoming senior, but that's not the case. It's kind of like a one-time shot. So if you're interested in applying, go ahead and do it, because it's a really good opportunity that we would definitely recommend taking.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so before you start the entire application process, go ahead and make sure that you're eligible to apply, and the requirements to apply are pretty basic, standard, requirements, nothing big. And then more towards the application process itself. Since it is a process, there's different components that go into it, and that includes things like submitting your teacher recommendation letter, submitting your transcript, and your ACT score. And that's all stuff that you submit, so it's not that hard to do, but something that you do have to put a little bit more of your elbow grease in and sit down and do are the essays that you have to write to apply.
A big concern we had as applicants as far as writing essays is just sounding too stereotypical. But the thing with applying with your essays is that your essays are just supposed to show what type of person you are and to show your overall character. And one thing with sounding stereotypical is just MSMS isn't who reads your essay. It's committees of normal people who are going to read your essay. So it's better to not say things like why you want to come to MSMS, or MSMS has this, and this, and that's why I want to come. Because the people reading your essay, they're not really concerned about MSMS, they're concerned about who you are, and
they want to see your character, and they want to see what you have to offer to MSMS.
And how will it benefit your future.
Right, because they know the opportunities that MSMS is going to give to any student, but why should it specifically be you? And that's just something to keep in mind when you're editing your essays or you're writing your essays. So yeah.
We would really suggest having someone edit and read over your essays as you're going through this process, because it's really just good to get a second or third eye look over your essay, because you want to make sure your grammar is good and you want to make sure you're conveying your character in the correct fashion, because this is essentially what you're judged on.
Yeah, and even though people do give you those suggestions, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should, listen to those suggestions all the time, because this is still your essay and it's not someone else's essay. And like we've mentioned numerous times before, they want to see who you are.
Yeah, you don't have to feel obligated to accept everything that they suggest to you. And they might suggest these things oh yeah, your essay will sound better if you say this, but also keep in mind plagiarizing. I mean, if something doesn't sound like something that you would write, then just don't take it. But if you like the idea, just formulate it in your own words, oh, that does apply to me and that is kind of who I am. So just formulate into what you would say as a person.
Another thing that Adriana and I would just like to give as a personal word of advice is try not to read other people's essays before applications are due. And I don't know if it's too late or not, but it's just really helpful for you personally writing your essays and editing your essays to not read other people's, because when you read other people's essays, it kind of makes you second guess oh, am I writing this essay properly?
But it's your essay and it's about who you are, so it's not a right or wrong way to write it. And it's a bad idea to feel swayed by another person's essay, because we came from a school where over 10 people applied, so if we had read everybody's essays before they were due, I'm pretty sure that I would have probably changed my essay like a billion times.
Yeah, because we went ahead and like read them after everything was over. Like I'm pretty sure interview day was over and stuff, and then we read each other's essays, and we were just so shocked like at how
different they were.
Like
Yeah.
it was just crazy, and it shows like, oh, this is the kind of character Adriana is, and oh, this is the type of character Clare is. Like they really just want to see your personality. Don't overstress yourself about it, but you know, do take your time to kind of seriously consider it and stuff.
That's personally my biggest tip. And I
Honestly,
think,
mine too.
yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest things that I would suggest as you're applying. Another topic that me and Claire would like to talk about is being punctual with your application. So I turned my application in the day of after I got back from school, just because I'm the type of person to like soak up every minute that I can. And Claire turned hers in the day before.
Yes, we're the type of people to like really check it over and like make sure everything's good and stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean
like we weren't like trying to be like last minute or anything. We were just trying to like double check and stuff. But if you do have your application done, don't just let the weeks pass by just because you have them. Go ahead and turn it in. And
it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
And another thing I'd just like to mention is don't fret if you haven't started your application process now, or like other people have started like way before you.
Yeah.
Because we know people like that are here, like in our class, that finish their application in like 2 days.
Yeah, it's like totally up to y'all how you dictate your time that you spend on your application. We happen to spend like a few months. Some people spend like 2 weeks. So it's really up to you. Don't fret. And I think the biggest thing with your application is just feeling comfortable with what you turn in. So as long as you turn it in on time, you're good.
You should be good.
Yeah.
Also, Adriana and I would just like to add that if you have been getting any stress over this application process, or if you have any lingering questions, or if you want us to just read your essays and give you edits and suggestions, please feel free to contact us through our emails that are in the description box down below, as well as our Instagrams if you feel more comfortable just DMing us. And on top of that, all the MSMS social media accounts are also in the description box down below. So if you want to get more updates of MSMS, go ahead and check them out.
And as always, be sure to like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel because we upload at 7 p.m. every Wednesday. So you know what that means.
See you next Wednesday!